I'm going to ask our Sheriff, John Fuson, to call our meeting to order. If you would, please remain standing for our pledge led by Commissioner Joe Wyatt and our invocation by Commissioner Joe Creek.
All rise. Oh yes, this Honorable Board of County Commissioners is now in session pursuant to adjournment. Now may God save this state and this Honorable Board of County Commissioners.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Our Father and our God, we thank you for your love and your watch care. We thank you for our legislative body and their willingness to serve. We thank you for our county employees and their dedicated service. We pray that you be with those that are hurting, as some for medical reasons, some is for job searching. We just pray that you'll comfort them as only you can. Now lead and guide and direct us in our meeting tonight, and when our views differ, let us respect one another. It says in the Bible in Philippians 4:6, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank him for all he has done. Amen.
Amen. Commissioners, if you would, please register your attendance. Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the roll?
You have 20 present and 1 absent.
Thank you, ma'am. Our first item of business is approval of our July the 10th, 2017 minutes. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Brockman, is there a second? Commissioner Keene, any discussion on the July 10, 2017 minutes? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 20 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. We have one zoning resolution to vote on tonight. We had our public hearing last Monday night. CZ 14-2017, application of Ronald K. Britcher from C5 to R1. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Nichols, is there a second? Commissioner Redd, any discussion on CZ 14-2017? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 21 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving right into our resolutions, our first resolution is 1781, resolution of Montgomery County Board of Commissioners approving amendment to the 2017-18 school budget for one-time funding with the Customs House Museum. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Gannon, second. Commissioner Keene, any discussion on 1781? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 21 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Resolution 1782, resolution to adopt the 2012 edition of the International Building Code, the 2012 International Residential Code, the International Plumbing Code, the International Mechanical Code, the 2012 International Fire Code, the 2009 International Energy Code, the 2012 International Fuel and Gas Code, the 2019 International Property Maintenance Code, and the 2009 ICC ANSI 117.1 Accessible and Usable Building and Facilities Code. I think we've got all the codes covered. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Tooley, is there a second? Commissioner Jason Hodges, any discussion on 1782? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 21 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you. Resolution 1783, resolution to accept grant funding for the Montgomery County Animal Care and Control through PetSmart Charities. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Baggett, is there a second? Commissioner Brockman, any discussion on 1783? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 21 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Resolution 1784, resolution to adopt the updated animal care and control regulations pursuant to Tennessee Code annotated 6-2, 201, 22, and 23, and 5-1, 118, and 120. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Johnson, is there a second? Commissioner Riccone, any discussion on 1784? Commissioner Gannon.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to offer an amendment, or I'd like to change one of the definitions on page 3 for breeder. I would like the definition to be breeder means a commercial establishment that engages in a for-profit business of selling at retail cats, dogs, and/or other animals to be kept as household pets.
Okay, we really don't have a motion on the floor for approval.
Okay, I'll come back and do that again.
Okay, do you want to make the motion for approval?
I'll make
then?
a motion.
Okay, we have a motion for approval. Is there a second? Commissioner Redd, and you'd like to offer the amendment as you stated?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Jackson, did y'all get that entire amendment?
No, sir, we did not.
I can repeat it.
Okay.
It's on page 3 for breeders. Breeders means a commercial establishment that engages in a for-profit business of selling at retail cats, dogs, and/or other animals to be kept as household pets. I can give you this if you want.
You
Okay,
get it?
No, we've gotten it. Thank you.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second for 1784 with an amendment. Is there a second to the amendment? Commissioner Vallejos? Okay, we're going to vote on the amendment. Any discussion on the amendment? Mr. Harper, are you on the amendment? No. Mr. Redd, are you on the amendment? Yes, sir. Okay.
Inquire to the one that made the motion. I'm just curious, why does a breeder have to be, or why they would like to make it for profit? I think he said, can't you be a breeder and not be doing it for profit? And it's just a point of inquiry. I don't know.
In the bill, breeders are charged a breeder's fee. So if you're breeding for not-for-profit, I don't think you should be charged a breeder fee. The breeders mean somebody that's selling it for profit will be charged a breeder's fee. Okay. So the ones that are selling it non-profit would not be charged a fee.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Harper? I'm sorry, Commissioner Johnson.
If it falls within protocol, I would request that the Director of Animal Care and Control weigh in on this amendment.
Okay, I think Ms. Farrell's here. Ms. Farrell, if you come to the microphone, please. Ms. Farrell, I think Commissioner Johnson wants you to weigh in on this proposed amendment.
Regarding the initial or the amendment? On the amendment? Weigh in on my professional opinion. We have a problem in Montgomery County of pet overpopulation. People that are breeding for profit or people that are breeding in general are just causing pet overpopulation in this county. We take in almost 6,000 animals a year. We euthanize, we take in almost 2,600 dogs a year and about 2,500 cats. So we definitely have a pet overpopulation. This is just trying to help us see where the problem areas are. So we feel that this would be important to see who is continuously breeding for profit, that kind of thing.
Commissioner Vallejos.
Thank you, Mayor. So you're saying that this amendment will actually weaken what you're trying to do is reduce the practice of those that are not commercial. Is that what you're saying? So the language he has offered is weakening what's already in there.
Correct, it is. It is weakening. The problem is right now the current regulations, like say for the city, is anyone that runs a business out of their home has to have a license. There are breeders in the city that actually have to get a breeding permit if they're going to breed because they're running a business out of their house.
Thank you.
Commissioner Jason Hodges.
How do we identify who's making a profit? I mean, are they just going to self-report?
Well, they would register with us. I mean, it's the way that it works in other places is actually if you say, for example, you do have an accidental litter. It does happen. And say, for example, you go ahead and you spend $50 on that animal to be vaccinated, dewormed, things like that, and you sell them at that $50. That's not for profit. But anything over, like, once you go ahead and make a profit, you're actually running a business. Your income is taxable. Yeah, and so this regulates.
But who's going to monitor that? I mean, if I'm breeding a dog in my backyard and I'm selling those puppies off every 6 months, are you going to catch me?
Most likely, yes, because a lot of times people sell them on Craigslist. They'll go ahead and put them on all the Facebook pages right now.
And you guys monitor that?
We do. We get complaints. A lot of people will actually send us complaints on what they see is going on, or if someone's habitual, or if someone's flipping an animal. The public's concerned about what goes on in the community.
Okay.
Yeah. If I may add, Commissioner Gannon, if you don't mind, I had a lot of calls about this. I think there was even an email that was sent to all the commissioners regarding it. The previous definition that was brought before you Monday night was breeder means anyone who repeatedly sells, trades, or offers to sell a litter of dogs or cats produced from a dog or cat that they do not intend to have spayed or neutered. So that's anyone who repeatedly. What's the definition of repeatedly? Is it twice? Is it 3 times? Is it 4 times? And so I think by adding the commercial aspect to it, we've tried to address that. Is it black and white? I don't think it is. I think it's still up to interpretation, just like any code is. Commissioner Gannon.
I could just reiterate what you said. I think it clears it up, especially on the phone calls and people that have maybe one litter and stuff. It gives it more. I think it gives it more teeth, this definition, than it does on the other one with repeatedly.
Right. Any other discussion? Thank you, Ms. Farrell.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on the amendment? So we're now voting on the amendment. Ms. Jackson, would you mind reading that, please, ma'am?
Breeder, you're changing the definition of breeder to mean a commercial establishment that engages in a for-profit business of selling at retail cats, dogs, and/or animals not to be kept as pets, and to be kept as pets. I'm sorry.
All right. All right. We're now voting on the amendment. If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 12 yeses, 9 noes, 0 abstentions.
The amendment passes. We're now voting on the resolution as amended. Resolution 1784. Any discussion? Commissioner Harper.
Thank you, Mayor. I had a question for Jeff Taylor about the rabies vaccinations that the veterinarians would send in. I think we changed that to $5. I wanted to ask about the allocation to that back to animal control, if you could answer that.
Those revenues do go into the animal control department code.
They go directly into?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I think it was about just under 36,000 this past year.
Okay. Thank you much.
Any other questions? All right, we're now voting on, Commissioner Gannon.
One question that keeps coming up, and I think we've talked to Attorney Tim, but if he could give us a little more clarification, is it enforceable to go from 1 to 5 or to 15?
I think it is. Commissioner Harper's answer to his question is a tie-in. Tennessee Code establishes the requirement of a rabies vaccination in the state of Tennessee to be monitored by the Department of Health. They issue the Tennessee Department of Health issues tags and the paperwork to vets who do the vaccination. That's in TCA 68-8-101. 103 covers the vaccination process. If you'll look at 104, Skip, can you put that up there? 104 is following in the same statutory scheme, and I want to show you, commissioners, this if I can. Section B says, any local law or ordinance implementing animal regulations shall include methods for the collection of registration fees and shall require the expenditure of these funds to establish and maintain a rabies control program, also commonly known as animal control program, in addition to the various animal control activities. So you can only charge this fee because you have a rabies program that's administered by animal control, and all the dollars have to go directly to animal control that you collect, and it's not a pet license. It says that you have the power to enact local laws or ordinances regarding the collection. What I'd suggest to you is it doesn't say, and you can make the veterinarians do it. It does not say that, but it says you have that power, and I'd suggest to you that it's important to maybe use a little diplomacy on this. The vets have been collecting this every time they do this shot at a $1 charge. It's not a license fee or a new fee. It's just increasing that charge that they've been collecting from $1 to $4. So maybe with some discussion, they might feel a little better about the fact that it is a collection charge under the rabies program that goes directly to animal control, and it's one they've been collecting already. Is it enforceable? My answer to, I should be able to give you a yes or no, so I will. I think it's enforceable. I hope we don't have to resort to ferreting out that, but it looks like we have that power.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other questions on 1784 as amended? Commissioner Harper.
Thank you, Mayor. Back to you, Tim. It seems like I've had discussions with more than one veterinarian in town, and there was not a clear consensus on whether they would actually collect that $5 fee or not. There seemed to be a lot on either side of that. What's your thoughts on that further?
Well, I think that those professionals are respected by this body, and I'm sure that they respect this body equally. And again, I'm sometimes the rubber has to meet the road. It looks to me like we have the power to affect the ordinance, and I hope that if we do that, that they would agree to our interpretation that we can use that collection process out of that mutual respect. And I will say this to you, I drew some comfort personally from the fact that they have been doing it for the county without any enforcement protocol for as many years as I can figure out. As long as I've had Jack, they've been collecting $1 and sending it back to the county. So if they're collecting, $5, they'll be doing the same procedure. It's just going to be a few dollars more. Hopefully we won't have to cross that bridge of enforcement.
Thank you, Tim.
Any other questions? All right, we're now voting on 1784 as amended. If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 19 yeses, 2 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you. 1784 passes. 1785, resolution to accept a donation of land for the location of an emergency medical service facility. We have a motion for approval by Commissioner Brockman, a second by Commissioner Harper. Any discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 21 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Resolution 1786, resolution appropriating additional funds to operate an ice rink at Civic Plaza and associated revenues thereto. Any discussion? Is there a motion for approval for 1786? Commissioner Gannon, second. Commissioner Riccone, any discussion on 1786? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 16 yeses, 5 noes, 0 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. 1786 is approved. No unfinished business. Our reports, our county clerk's report, this will require commission approval. Ms. Jackson, would you please read your report?
Comes Kelly A. Jackson, County Clerk, Montgomery County, Tennessee, and presents the County Clerk's report for the month of July 2017. I hereby request that the persons named on the list of new applicants to the office of Notary Public be elected. The oath and bond of the appointed county officials, oaths of the sheriff's deputies, and per the grant requirement from the Clarksville-Montgomery County School System, the filing of the Clarksville-Montgomery County Museum's 2015-16 annual audit and tax return are approved as taken. This report shall be spread upon the minutes of the Board of County Commissioners.
Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Creek, second. Commissioner Jason Hodges, any discussion on the clerk's report? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 21 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions. I'm sorry,
Next.
Mayor, if I can add one thing to that. I failed to read in the name of Millard House, who is the Director of Schools, and it was a bond, so it does have to be read into the minutes.
Okay. I don't think that'll change any votes.
Thank you.
All right, county mayor nominations without objection from the floor. I'll ask you to approve all the county mayor nominations with one motion. First is Animal Care and Control Committee. Dr. Ben Howard nominated to fill the unexpired term of Dr. Leslie Burchett, veterinarian, term to expire January 2018. Building and Codes Committee, Commissioner Ron Sokol nominated to serve his second 3-year term to expire August 2020. Commissioner John Genus nominated to serve his second 3-year term expiring August 2020. And Commissioner Jerry Albert nominated to serve his second 3-year term to expire August 2020. Under Judicial Commissioners, Joe Papathasis nominated to fill the unexpired term of Cynthia Gathers as a part-time employee, term to expire March 2018. And Rebecca Becker, formerly Adair, nominated to serve another 1-year term to expire July 2018. We'll take those all under one motion. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Tooley, second. Commissioner Gannon, any discussion? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 21 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstentions.
Under our county mayor appointments, we have 2 different committees to appoint to, and again, without objection from the floor, I'll ask for these to be voted on in one motion. Under the Loss Control Committee, Commissioner Arnold Hodges appointed to serve his second 2-year term to expire August 2019. Commissioner Monroe Gildersleeve appointed to serve his second 2-year term to expire August 2019. Commissioner Ron Sokol appointed to serve his second 2-year term to expire August 2019, and Tim Swa appointed to serve his second 2-year term to expire August 2019. And under the Senior Citizens Board, Juan Raymond Reyes appointed to fill the unexpired term of Maureen Potter, who resigned, term to expire April 2020. Is there a motion for approval? Commissioner Keene, is there a second? Commissioner Genus, any discussion on the county mayor appointments? If you would, please register your vote. Would anyone like to change their vote? Ms. Jackson, would you please tally the vote?
You have 19 yeses, 0 nos, and 2 abstentions.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioners, the legislative reception will be held on Tuesday, September 26th, beginning at 5:30 p.m. at the Civic Hall. Please make plans to attend and support our legislative agenda. Just a reminder that the TCCA Annual Regional Meeting will be held at Paris Landing State Park on September 7 at 5:30 p.m. We will have a van available if anyone would like to ride and leave the parking lot at 4:30. If you haven't already done so, please let Miss Debbie Gentry know if you would like to attend. And also, due to the Labor Day holiday, the informal meeting for September will be Tuesday, September 5th at 6 o'clock p.m. Any other business comments from any commissioners? Sheriff, I'll call on you to adjourn the meeting, please.
All rise. Oh, yes, this Honorable Board of County Commissioners now stands adjourned. Now may God save this state and this Honorable Board of Commissioners.